Hello, beautiful people. It's Muhammad here. Before I begin, let me just say I hope you're safe, you're practicing social distancing, and staying away from crowded places unless absolutely necessary. The topics of today's video is one that I actually talked about almost 7 years ago. When I was in my foundation year in the University of Sharjah, there was a TEDx event. The theme was the next step, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I talked about this specific topic back then, and I want to talk about it now and see how I'm gonna present it differently. I'm no more of an expert now than I was back then. Back then and now as well, all that I'm gonna use is my own reading and my own experiences in life. This is what helped me make my decisions, the next steps, and so on. And so I want to share it with you, and hopefully, it will help some of you. Life is a series of decisions that we have to make. Some of them are easy, and some are not as easy as we hope for them to be. And so there are certain steps and certain things that we can look at in order to make the hard decisions easier to make. Back then, I based my talk on the words of two number one best-selling authors, Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus. They're known as the Minimalists. They have multiple books and a blog as well. One post on their blog was called The Four Paths, and basically it described the four paths that you might face in your life when making a decision: the right path, the wrong path, the left path, and the no path. I stumbled on that post before the event, the TEDx event, and it was a lucky coincidence because it perfectly described the topic of the event, the next step. Basically, the different paths that you might face and how do you interact with each and every one of them. And even 7 years after, those paths, those words that I read on the post still apply perfectly. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and front like I have my life figured out or I made all the right decisions in life. No, I made plenty of mistakes. We all make plenty of mistakes. But I realized after each mistake that I made that if I followed those words, if I actually sat and thought about it, I would have definitely not have made the wrong decision. So let me get into the paths that you might face, beginning with the first one, the right path. Now the name says it all, it's the right path, it's the proper path that you should take. How do you know that it is the right path? Well, honestly, it is very clear. It is always very clear that yes, this is what you should do. You can see the signs. Yes, this is the proper way for me. This is the ethical way. This is the ethical decision. This is the moral decision to make. This is the proper path for me to follow. It's a path that doesn't hold any negatives, or if it does, then they're very minimal. It's the path that holds no risks. It's the path that is safe for me and everyone else around me as well. Let's say you want to buy a car. Now, there are many cars around the world. How do you know which one to buy? It might be a silly example, but it fits perfectly. Let's say you have a certain budget, then you will look for cars within this budget, even if you want a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or any amazing supercar. No, it doesn't fit your budget now. The mileage, the gasoline, everything, the loans that you might have to take, how you will live afterwards. Just put all that aside. Just think logically, think without emotions, think objectively. You will find out that no, all of that, yes, I want it, but not now. The proper step for me now, the proper decision, the proper car to buy is one that fits my budget perfectly and doesn't require me to live in severe hardships after I buy it. Even though, as I said, it is very clear sometimes, it is very simple, it is very straightforward. We sometimes don't choose the right path. We prefer to go with another decision, another path, another way of acting. And the number one reason why we choose or why we claim that this wasn't a perfect path for me is because it is hard. I watched a movie the other day. It's a movie that I wanted to watch for a long time, but I didn't. It's called Scent of a Woman. In it, there is a perfect clip that fits this claim. Let's watch it.
Now, I have come to the crossroads in my life. I always knew what the right path was. Without exception, I knew, but I never took it. You know why? It was too damn hard. Now, here's Charlie. He's come to the crossroads. He has chosen a path. It's the right path. It's a path made of principle that leads to character.
Now, as you heard the great Al Pacino, or Mr. Slade as his name is in the movie, He did not choose the right path, although he knew it was the right path, because it was too hard. But think about it this way. It might be hard, but it will be worth it. It will not weigh on you morally, on your conscience. It will not cause you any harm, probably, because it is the right path. So no matter how hard it is, there are certain hardships that you have to take on in life in order to be the best version of yourself. Comfort comes through discomfort, and convenience comes through inconvenience. So you have to be inconvenient now in order for you to be perfectly convenient in the future. Now, the second path is the wrong path. It is a path that is clearly and blatantly wrong, as the minimalists say in their post. It is a path that it shouts to you, please don't follow me, don't take this path. And yet, we often more than not take this path as well. And it isn't that hard, honestly, for you to realize that a path that you might want to take is the wrong path. There are multiple signs. For me, personally, this is something that I learned. If you are blessed to have one or both of your parents still alive, discuss any step that you want to take with them. If they see that it is not proper, if they disagree with it, trust me, 99.9% of the time, it is actually the wrong path. Your parents never want to harm you. Your parents are there for you. They want you to be amazing. You want to be more successful in life than them. So if they think that this is not a proper path, trust me, most of the time it is actually not. Another thing that can help you realize that this path is probably a wrong path is the people who chose this path. Look what they went through. Look how they came out at the end of the path. Look at what happened to them. Did they get benefits? Did they get harmed? Was it worth it to choose this path? I'm not saying don't choose a path because others told you not to. No, I'm saying look at the stories of other people. Benefit from them. History doesn't have to repeat itself with you as well. Learn from what others went through and then make your own decision. And then FYI, shortcuts are often the wrong path to take because you will bypass so much experience, so much knowledge in whatever field of life. If you take a shortcut, you will miss out on a lot that you should have went through. So shortcuts are more often than not a wrong path to take. Moving on to the third path, and I love the name of this path. I loved it back then when I read it, and I still love it to this day. It is called the left path. We have the right path in the sense of correct, and we have the right path in the sense of direction. And since we have right, we also have left. Now, what is this left path? To put it simply, the left path is just another right path. You might be faced with 2 or 3 decisions. One of them you decide it's wrong, I don't want to do this. Okay, you're left with 2. Both are equally beneficial, both are equally good, both are equal opportunities for you to grow, for you to progress. Choose either or, it doesn't matter. They are both good for you, they're right and left, but they're both right in the sense of correct. In this example, you can say that both roads lead to Rome. Not all roads, because some might be wrong, but both roads, the right and left, will lead you to Rome, will lead you to your goal. Finally, we have the no path. It is the state of not making a choice. It is the state of staying still and not progressing. This is the worst possible situation you can be in. Because yes, some might say, okay, I'm not progressing, but I'm not regressing. But that is completely false because life is moving forward. Everything else is moving forward and fast as well. So if you don't make a choice, you're actually just stepping back and back and back from life, from your goals, from everything that is happening around you. So not making a choice is the same as going backwards. Let's say you just graduated from high school and you're thinking about what majors you want to apply to, what colleges, what universities you want to apply to. You're stuck between 2 to 3 different universities or different majors. If you don't make a choice, the deadline for admission will pass you. You will have to take a skip year, or you will have to go through so much trouble and indirect ways for you to get into the university after the deadline passes you. Not making a decision is not a decision that you should make. That was fire! No, whatever decision that you make. Now, I said those 3 words before, but I'm gonna say them again. You have to be objective. You have to be focused, and you have to be detached from emotion and bias. If you're emotional or you're biased, then your decision will come out naturally biased. It won't be proper. You have to be objective. Just look at the bigger picture. Don't focus on one possibility and that's it. This is what I have to make. No. Look at all the possible options. There are so many options in life. Look at them. Explore, discover, ask, investigate, and then once you gather everything, sit down with yourself, a nice cup of tea or coffee or juice, your pick, and make the decision. Let's say that you made a decision. You took a path, you decided to walk on it, and you started. Later on, or after a while, you realize that this might not have been the perfect path. This is actually a path that is wrong or not the proper path to take. What do you do then? You have two options. You can either go all the way back and start all over again, or you can make a nice detour for yourself. At the end of the day, it is a path. By definition, paths can have detours, ways to move on to different paths, different tracks, different decisions. So take that detour. Don't be afraid. Don't say I'm gonna lose all the progress that I made or all the knowledge that I gained or all the steps that I walked. No, at the end of the day, you're still continuing. You're moving forward. You're bettering yourself. That is never a bad decision to make. It is never too late to become a better person or to choose a path that will make you better, to change your decisions, to realize the mistakes that you made. You have to admit that you made a mistake and then change it, and that is how you grow. I will end the same way that I ended 7 years ago. Firstly, by saying, be the king or the queen of your decision. Yes, I told you look at other people's experiences, and that is true. You should look. You should benefit from what other people went through. You should learn from them. But don't make a decision just because everyone else made that decision. Yes, you can ask for help from your parents, friends, experts, mentors. Of course you can. You should actually, not you can, you should ask for help. But the decision falls on you and you only. This is your life. It is up to you to decide what to do with it. Lastly, as Thomas Carlyle said, the block of granite, which was an obstacle in the pathway of the weak, became a stepping stone in the pathway of the strong. Be strong, make your own decisions, whatever obstacle that comes at you in life, overcome it, grow from it, learn from it, use it to become a higher version and a better version of yourself.
Artlist.io.
Honestly guys, I just want to say thank you so much for the support. As of this moment that I'm making the video, we are at 166 subscribers, yes. The number might be small for some. For me, I'm so happy with it. I'm grateful for each and every one of the 166 subscribers. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please subscribe and come back for more. There will be more videos. As I said, 2 videos per week. And I hope that we enjoy our journey together. Thank you. Guys, this is, for those who don't know, my brother Ahmed, aka my manager. He wants to say thank you for the 166 subscribers, and he wants to say something else.
Thank you for the 166 subscribers, so something else.